Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Reporting live from the Dogon. Each one teach one, each one teach one. Peace and love. You know what it is. It's the homie Mac, man. Another session of Mac Minutes. You know what it is. Yeah, so I had to get a whole new laptop. Yeah. And here we are. Got my new laptop. You see it. Yeah, so this session of Mac Minutes will be centered around a conversation I had with one of the homies, one of my friends, somebody that I have, we bump heads, but I got a lot of respect for the homie. The homie, who I would not mention by name, he's from Gangsta Crip, back west side. Yeah, I want to keep him anonymous. I don't feel like he wants everybody to know his name. He's not trying to be famous. But we've bumped heads. We've had a lot of political discussions, socio-political discourse, and he changed my perspective. He gave me some insight. He pretty much was not pretty much. He was telling me essentially that Democrat, Republican, and I already had this revelation, but he further played into it to help me realize, like, okay, yeah. He was basically saying how left wing, right wing, same bird. Left wing, right wing, same bird. Saying how essentially there is no lesser of two evils. They both have agendas. Ultimately, they both have agendas, and right or wrong are largely subjective. As I've gotten older, I would say that my political stance is more Machiavellian, to the extent that, I want to be moral, I want to do right, but I understand people gonna do what they gonna do. People gonna people. So I need to make sure I'm straight, my family's straight, my people are straight. But yeah, my homie from Trey Gangster, he gave me a nuanced and deeper understanding of the Republican Party. Again, and I've said this like 1,000 times, I have largely voted Democrat. I still vote. I mean, by definition, if you were to analyze my voting decisions, the way that I swayed politically, my political leanings, yeah, I'm a Democrat. I've always thought, and I've said this in other videos, like I was taught that Republicans are racist. Republicans hate black people specifically. Republicans are innately white supremacists. So as a consequence of that, I know they don't like my black ass, so I need to stay away from the Republican Party. That was my understanding. That's how I was socialized. But the understanding that I have now, like I'm learning, I found out that the Republican Party was actually founded by anti-slavery activists. They were very staunch and adamant about stymieing, thwarting, quelling, what have you, the Kansas-Nebraska Act. The Kansas-Nebraska Act, in essence, wanted to expand slavery across U.S. borders. And I always thought that was interesting. When I found that out, I'm like, what the hell? What? And then to find out that the Republican Party actually, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln, in essence, is responsible for the ending of slavery in the U.S. territory, on U.S. borders. And I'm not saying this to absolve the Republican Party. I still think the Republican Party does a lot of things that I don't understand. I think a lot of things that are very race-centered in a negative way. I think that the Republican Party essentially wants small government so they can make more decisions to subjugate people who are not in alignment with their political views. Yeah. But my homie from A-Trade Gangsta, now he was just telling me, like, you know, America was built on capitalism, America was built on economics, and America was built on violence. And he was saying how, you know, I used to call people, he told me, I used to call people coons, y'all just don't get it, y'all want to be white, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, you know, he went to a youth program, a youth summit, you know, as a teen, and he was saying how, not as a teen, as a young, I guess like his early 20s, and he was saying how the guy that spoke, he was a black man, he's talking about getting your money, about being about business, carrying yourself a certain way, moving a certain way, and at the end of this summit, this discussion, the homie from A-Trade told the this was a black man talking, the black man who was espousing all these things about the government and government infrastructure, how it works in America. My homie, he called this black man a coon. He said he was a coon, he was a sellout. But at the end of his speech, you know, after my homie said what he said, and after the end of the speech, he took my homie to the side and he said, "Look, I didn't sell out, I bought in." And as the homie's telling me that, I'm getting confused. I'm like, what do you mean he bought in? In essence, he said, you know, America was built on consumption, hypercapitalism, money, economics. So, Mac, where are you going with all this? And essentially, my homie helped me understand, like, this isn't about morality or right or wrong. I guess at its core it is, but at the end of the day, policy does not yield to morality. Policy yields to economics. Democrat, Republican, all this is about money. You got PACs, political action committees, super PACs. You have these organizations that exist. You have donors, things of that nature, what have you. When Kamala ran for president, she had a $7 or $8 million donation from Netflix. Somebody that was on corporate committee for Netflix. And my thing is, okay, so this is about money. You have to get behind the people who you feel are in alignment with your policies or your political views, and you support them. Whereas I think you support them economically, chiefly. Economics moves the needle forward, not morality. I know it may make some people feel some kind of way. Again, I'm very Machiavellian now. I want to do right. I'm all about humility, understanding, compassion, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people want what they want, and you cannot have objective political discourse with them. They're going to do what they're going to do. When my homie was telling me about the guy saying that he bought in, basically he bought into that understanding. To push the needle forward, I need money. Economics, politics yield to economics. And I think us as black people, we think it's about right and wrong. No, it's about it is about fomenting the economic undergirding to push your politics forward. I made a video said a while ago, well, not my last video, I was just saying how I asked the question, I posed the question, are Republicans smarter than Democrats? Sometimes I think Democrats function off a lot of emotionalism, whereas I feel like Democrats, emotionalism, Republicans, more calculated, it's more protracted. And in essence, I have a deeper understanding of what my homie was saying. This system functions at the behest of economics. Get your money to influence policy. Have a moral code, whatever your moral leanings are, objectively hold true to that. I'm not just saying get your money, be lascivious, be what's the word I'm looking for? Be sporadic, wild, lascivious with your spending or in your understanding of money. No, you can have your money, but you still need to have a code. But understand, you can't be too far to the left, too far to the right. Morality and money. I'm a Christian myself, but I understand separation of church and state. I understand how everyone does not view God the way I do. Some people don't. A lot of people don't even believe in God. you know. So and I'm saying that to say simply that I can't foist my religious views or my spiritual views on people. So the objective spectrum is morality. Morality is not limited to religion. So yeah, separation of church and state. Like I am chiefly about people peacefully coexisting. But back to what my homie said. He bought in. He said the guy that spoke to him told him, I'm not a sellout, I bought in. He bought into the understanding that economics, again, moves the needle forward. So if we're going to advocate for black people, we need to have a strong, poignant financial undergirding. Okay? You're not going to guilt trip white supremacists about their white supremacy. You're not going to do that. You have a lot of white supremacists that don't even think racism exists. So no, this is a money game. Figure it out. Yeah, self-determination. I feel like the Republicans are largely about self-determination, but on the flip side, I feel like they are for self-determination to the extent that they can subjugate people that don't have their views. So that's why they want small government. But on the flip side of that, I feel like a lot of times with the Democrats it's like, I'm a poverty pimp in the sense of, I know the government will give me money to run these programs. So it's not even, I do think there are some Democrats that genuinely want to help people and ameliorate their positioning in life. I do think that, but at the end of the day, I think sometimes, I feel like with the Democratic Party, I'm not going to get my funding to push my narrative. And with the Democrats, I look at it, I've met people from Queensbridge, I met people from Cabrini Green, and the thing is, like, yeah, the Democrat, these are areas that are democratically led for the most part, to my understanding. And it's like, okay, so you're kind of pimping poverty. Well, not kind of. You're pimping poverty to the extent that the social milieu has not evolved. It's still crime and poverty, and you're getting a check to regulate or help these people for generations that have lived under crime and poverty. And I'm not anti-Democrat. I'm just saying I think the Democratic Party it's a hustle in a lot of ways. These white liberals, I feel like a lot of them are hustlers. Like Malcolm X said, Democrat, Republican, there's white supremacy on both sides of the ballot, but the way that they employ their white supremacy is just different. Republicans are just, a lot of times, are more direct. We don't rock with y'all. Or they'll do it in a subtle way, but it's aggressive through policy. Whereas Democrats, oh, we love you, we like you. I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could have. But at the end of the day, they want this government funding so they can keep their money train moving and still cap off the potential of a lot of minorities and poor people. Maurice, what do you mean cap off? Meaning, they get funding and they'll employ the politics over this group, but it's like, at the same time, in order for these groups that are oppressed, these minorities that are oppressed, the man can't be in the household. There's just all these restrictions, and it perpetuates the poverty cycle. So I feel like the Democrats, they do it from a more, I guess, I don't even necessarily want to say it's contrived. Some people will say it's contrived, but the Democrats will smile in your face and get things on the back end. And again, I don't think that's all Democrats. I think a lot of them are well-meaning But yeah, I'm just saying, I am for self-determination. There's a lot of, I mean, to further to further point to further and to speak to what my homie was saying, we need to get off this woe is me poverty. Like we need to get off the. And I'm not saying that systemic racism doesn't exist. It does. But the thing is, you have to fight with economics, and you have to fight with economics. You can't just try to make a moral call. You can't make a moral appeal. I think it was, Ida B. Wells said, an appeal to a white man's pocketbook did more than an appeal to his morality. So this is about economics. Black people buy in. You know, we raised money for Kamala's campaign, like millions in a day or two. So it's like, okay, we have the capital to create a black agenda and push a forward agenda for all of us. Okay? Not to look for government handouts, because and I'm not anti-government. I'm not anti-government subsidies. Yes, I push for it, but at the end of the day, these subsidies should be orchestrated in a way to push you forward. They should be orchestrated in a way to push you towards self-determination. Like it's like the nest, the government. You know, we're in this nest. They watch over us, but you know, we should not be dependent on them. And it's kind of like that movie V for Vendetta. The people should not fear their government, but the government should fear their people. So what I'm saying is, essentially, the government should function at the behest of the best interests of the people. What does that look like, Mac? What are you talking about? Yeah, not keeping you dependent on the tit. Excuse my language, I know that may sound crass. But no, I'll nurture you. The government should nurture you. But at the end of the day, it should put you in a space where you were able to become self-determined. I feel like the Republican Party, I feel like they've always been about self-determination, but in the sense of wanting small government so they could crap on people and not have government intervention. But on the flip side, I feel like the Democrats are like, oh, we'll give you more. We'll take care of you, but they're making you dependent and your potential is capped off because you're still dependent on the government. So there has to be some equilibrium there, you know? Nurture you, take care of you, but ultimately push you away from the nest so you can build your own nest. Yeah, I know some people may say I'm a coon. I'm Clayton, but I'm Uncle Ruckus, Clayton, Bigsby. But no. I acknowledge the sins of both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I'm just essentially saying how black people, the black spending dollars at 1.6 trillion, we have the means to be self-determined. The things that Marcus Garvey was talking about, the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about, self-determination. Homey Young, I'm a Detroiter. Homey Young said, black man, get your money. So my thing is, let's create, if we're for small government, if these Republicans are for small government, then, you know, black people, we need to get together and figure out how we can make this work for us. We have the means financially, you know, so let's create a system that benefits us. You know, you have Lexit, so I'm seeing Latinos are leaving the Democratic Party en masse and are becoming Republicans. Lexit, Google Lexit. So yeah, black people, we need to focus on that, being self-determined. And I get it. I'm not like this shucking and jiving Negro that's talking about, black people just need to do better. I acknowledge systemic institutional racism. I acknowledge it. Okay, but what are we gonna do? We need to pull together and build an economic infrastructure, a power base, compound interest that can serve black people. So my thing is, yeah, Trump's in office, you don't like it, I get it. I didn't vote for Trump because I question whether or not he sincerely believes in democracy. But at the same time, okay, I see he's about his money. I see he's a businessman. So let me figure out economically what programs, what can I do to tap in and become more economically viable and help black people. But each one teach one, peace and love. It's the homie Mac. It is the homie Mac. Signing out from the Dogon, each one teach one. Yeah, this is just a call to arms. I'm not about black elitism. I don't think black capitalism will necessarily save us in the sense of black capitalism being money in the hands of money being in the hands of a few black elites to push the race forward. Like, no, I think it needs to be a collective effort. Rich, poor, middle class. I know the middle class is slowly waning. But no, like we need to figure out a means to develop compound interest and create a power base. Each one teach one, peace and love. It's the homie MACK. Thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes, thumbs up, give me the likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Signing out from the Dogon. I'm out.